could talk about Stanley Cup playoffs, but I'm a Bruins fan. I don't really want to right now.
Neither do I.
Tim Douglas versus Nick Zuffelato. We're getting underway now. It's quarterfinals time, live from Exeter Lanes. I'm no Korey Booker, but I think that was a pretty decent filibuster. Nonetheless, here we go on lane 6. Freshie, we call him, Nick Zuffelato. Gets on the head pin, and he's got the 2-4-10. Tim Douglas, he can whip that ball down the lane. Here it comes. Into the 3-pin. No, actually got a piece of the head pin, glancing blow. 2-4-7 and 9. And a nice slice, I thought, but it got just shy of the 10-pin for Zuffelato. Douglas just into the wood with a 4-7.
Freshie, 10.
Freshie's got 10 to begin. And Douglas just the 8. And Douglas, a previous winner of a Candlepins for Cancer ladder in Abington.
And also a previous winner to the USA Classic.
He loves the singles knockout format. Finalist last year and winner 2 years ago. Or finalist this year and winner 2 years ago when it was Bolorama Sanford. Freshie, the skins champion. That's the cash game format of Candlepin. He gets a half Worcester.
Oh,
Douglas.
He knew that. That's why he would.
Same ball, got better.
Looks like Dean Sullivan has a double strike working right now.
How about that?
Over Sean Baker, who we just saw a little while ago.
Douglas lost the handle there, so pinning important in the early going. We'll see how Zuffelato plays this. He's got wood to clobber those 2 pins on the left. Trying to play on the right tip, trying to get something to go across. It does not. Douglas has a tougher one and only rips out 1.
Early 3-pin lead for Freshie.
As we know, Kevin, average spare field is about 6.5, so for Freshie to gain half that on just the pinning alone. Important one in this 2-string match, and we've seen the tight margins already. You never know which pin's going to be the winner. 5-pin won't wilt, 2-5-7-8-10. Douglas, crossover, left the king, diamond right.
Well, looking over to the ladies' side that Justin Scally is covering, and they're in their finals, is Madison River versus Amanda Carroll.
Zuffelato just threw Tim Douglas on the 5-pin. Not quite sharp on the range just yet, but still plenty of time in this 20-box match. Both of them top seeds. They had a first-round bye.
There's a 10 for Scott, for 10.
The older brothers of Scott Douglas. Tim Douglas, a recent acquisition for Team Central 1. Not to be confused with the Central Parklands Worlds team out of East Boston, which you see Zuffelato wearing the shirt of. Recent acquisition of that Men's Worlds tournament. Friday Night Pro League, our weekly coverage on every Friday night of the New England Area League. And then the Men's Worlds, the Men's International Candlepin Championships. This year held in Moncton, New Brunswick.
And I will not be there.
Alas.
I will only be there when it's in the States. I can't go with everything going on. I really can't go to Canada.
And just 2 down, 3. Oh, but not the 8-pin.
But you know me, I'll be watching, and I'll be doing my analysis through the...
And you can too. Nice 10 by Zuffelato. You can too by watching Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube. We'll take another look at this 10-box.
Way to run on the head pin. Nice and pretty. Not too full.
Yeah, you got to get on the inside of that head pin to get it to go.
Still a 3-pin advantage.
Yeah, that's all it is. Nobody's blown up for a mark yet. Nick can't get that 10-pin to carry. Timmy, 5-7.
Well,
That would almost clobbered that 7, but instead it died off the back of the plate.
If anybody is going to make any of these 2 shots, Tim has a better chance of making the 5-7 than Freshie does with Wood on 7-10.
You reckon, huh? Came halfway across, but not into the 7. This would be some slice, though, I tell you what. He's close. Oh, he hit it full, though.
You know what's funny? You may have hit it full, but it still came back and took the 7 out on the back of the plate. There's a 10.
All right, so this is all pinning, you see, for both sides here. 10 and 10, so just those 3 pins in those first 2 boxes, that's what looms large on the early going. To the other featured match we go now.
Korey Packard and Scott Lapierre.
I seed gets lane choice. Korey Packard was the number 1 qualifier in the skins competition. He's our number 10 seed. Scott Lapierre, 18 seed. Follow along with all the standings. You pull down the YouTube description to see the bracket for yourself. We'll try and keep an eye out for things as well. Aaron Fontaine and Sean Sears in action right now. Dean Sullivan and Sean Baker standing by, it looks like. If I'm understanding correctly, I haven't gotten confused for a scorekeeper. 4-7.
With the plank. Korey Packard. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Korey Packard, a spot bowler, usually circumvents most of my speculation about angles and how exactly you get into the pocket. He's just trying to find a spot on the lane and pick his head pin. Lapierre spares. Very similar to Craig Holbrook in that regard, where Holbrook is just making up a different approach for every single bowling center he bowls in, essentially, and just tries to find a different angle to the pins each time, somehow, some way. A Hall of Famer. It's 9.
How many times have I said this? If you could get into the Hall of Fame twice for competitiveness,
Absolutely.
guess what? You can put Holbrook in that ring.
Including a mixed teams championship with Team Coca-Cola Holbrook. Same one I mentioned Salona and Daly being on. Dave Barber, I forgot to mention. I should have given him his flowers as well. We saw him earlier. He was on that team too. And then Amanda Carroll and Aaron Merrill, likewise. This pin's going to come back for Packard. Is it going to take the 3? No. Lapierre's fill is just 3, so it doesn't gain much of an advantage off the spare. Now he's got a pin. High-low. Except the 7 dropped. 3-6 for Packard. Has a chance here. Korey Packard, one of our most recent contestants on the Candlepin for Cancer Ladder out of Riverwalk Lanes. Missed it. The wood was not taking it. He knows that, of course. Lapierre 9.
I love Korey. Korey is such a good bowler. I mean, well,
And originally from my current hometown of Auburn, Massachusetts as well. Still wish Thunderbird Bowl was a thing, but hey, Candlepin is coming back to Worcester at long last. There is a, I believe, 8-lane house.
yeah, Scott Moore's working on that place.
Newly built with pin setters from the old Lita's Lighthouse. And that short lane party that atmosphere that Lita used to have in Nashua, New Hampshire. Lapierre and 9 drop. Packard's got a trickier one. We'll see where the wood settles.
Don't like it. I do not like it.
Scott, that wood's driving right through. Second spare. Chance to fill this one big now.
I don't like it, but I don't hate it. I mean, it does have possibilities.
He's headed right. Red line. Oh, the action just falls short of that 7 pin.
Did that not go?
We'll see it again in a moment. That looked like he got the lateral motion going, but it just didn't work out. Nicely pinned for 10, and we'll take another look.
He hit it right on the red line. The ball missed the pin. That's what it was.
Yeah, it looked like the ball just, everything fell short. The pin fell short and the ball deflected short. Lapierre, second chance at a fill. Got his head pin this time, but doesn't get much love on it. 4. 2 marks basically collapse into 1.
Packard with a 8 drop. 9 drop.
Yep, head pin spills out from behind.
Not a head pin hit, though, unfortunately.
For those of you keeping track, statistically anyway.
Lapierre takes out the right side of the eagle.
This ain't 5 pin, though. The pins count all the same here. However you can get them. 5 pin, of course, the Canadian variant elsewhere in Canada. 7 pin, guide rail 2. He'll use the wood there.
Why? Okay. You know what?
Hey, it worked for Keith Beaupre last night en route to his 479. Lapierre gets a 10.
You know what? I didn't watch the show last night because I knew that if I was around or if I went last night, I know how Paul is. Paul was that you take over, I'm going home because I got to go with me. That's why I didn't show up.
I did a little more play-by-play this time around, in fairness. Oh, half Worcester for Lapierre, so Packard. Let's see if he can fill big here against 7 bonus pins. He got his head pin full, and he will still mix some out at 6. So this match not breaking apart either, like the Zuffelato Douglas one. Lapierre, good shot, but no 10 pin. Packard, a 3-1 split. Is the wood helping or is it in the way? I think.
Oh, he can get that thing to jump over.
He could as well. That's probably more likely.
You have to split the 3 and the 6.
I think the red line is looking at it for what it's worth. Let's see the slice. Gets a 7, but not the 10. Mercy. Scott rides the rail for 10.
Well, here's an update. Amanda Carroll won the ladies' side.
That's out of the gutter there. That'll score 9 for Packard, so he'll have 52. And we'll get another look here.
Now, I want to see where he missed with this one.
So the ball deflects in front of the 10. Cruel. And the wood was looking at it. My goodness. A perfect shot, we thought, but just didn't work out. Bowlers switch sides. Here you see it. Nick Freshie Zuffelato, integrating his nickname in there. Ahead by just 3 pins, no marks.
It's a 4-pin lead for Scott Lapierre.
A sport that gets tougher as he goes. How you doing out there in chat? Let us know where you're watching from. It's great to see you all here virtually in Exeter, New Hampshire.
We're going to have Justin Scally join us in a little bit.
All right, 3, 6, 7. Boy, tough split for the both of them. Is Zuffalato's wood any good, I wonder? Oh, what a slice, but no 7-pin.
A slice, but no dice on that shot.
Short pin the 7. Tim somehow needed more of an angle. Freshie just on the 3-pin, basically gets roadblocked. At least the plank settles to the left side. Tim can't pick a stick here, so this likely will equalize. Tricky, tricky match. Every match 2 strings. Up to 10 strings for everyone who didn't make the first round bye.
Still a 3-pin lead.
And that's really the brilliancy. A lot of people bemoan, why don't we have more 10 strings? Like the main states, hey, you can go watch that as well on Candlepin Bowling Network. Maybe multi-screen if you still got the habit from March Madness or something. But the brilliancy of the Pro Series is that it is effectively 10 strings for everyone who can make it a deep run here. You do have to be that consistent for that long.
The 3, 5, 7 for Tim Douglas.
On the head pin, bundle of 5 for Freshie.
How many times did we see that shot? Only 5.
A lot of thin hits here. It's coming off the wall, and a wood collision, I think, stopped this one, and Douglas cannot mark again. Oh, frustration, a Candlepin in full force. Freshie off spot with this one.
Both these guys are open, but it's still pretty close. There's another 9 for 10.
Things are typically fine, even though he'd probably want some of those singles to go his way. Tim Douglas wearing the Maria's sub shirt, recent acquisition by that team, as his stock continues to go up. Good third ball by Nick Zuffelato. It's a 3-pin match.
Still.
Good to see you over in Fredericton, Nova Scotia, Fredericton, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia, I should say.
And Western Mass, and Tim Douglas with a spread eagle.
Boy, oh boy.
I can't speak French, so I'm not even going to attempt that one.
Glacé Bay, I guess, if that accent is to be believed. The silly American is trying to improvise. Spread eagle. And just in the 6-pin, Tim's got to pin this one. Now Freshie with a chance to take a lead. Marks have been tough to come by. This one would be big. He got it!
First
Triangle
mark.
blows up, and it is the first mark of the match. Tim 7. It was a tough box at the end there that it didn't really sink him against Sean Sears then again. I mean, Sean Sears had an 18 or a 19 box on the end anyway. And you saw a clutch finish from him earlier today as well. To advance further, he's in action against Aaron Fontaine right now on lane 1 and 2.
Tim off the head pin leads the 4 horsemen plus the 7.
Freshie ahead by a clear mark now in pinning. Now the bonus is 4.
How about an eagle? Every mark that's been filled on 5 today has been filled with a spread eagle.
And both these bowlers can whip into the angle here, but they're just hitting it too full. Tim just now. And when he got that 6 box, he punched twice full as well. Zuffelato, captain of his, sorry.
Takes out 2 on that eagle.
Good cut there.
9, good 9. That's a good 9.
It's a struggle string for Timmy, but the 9 is significant. Freshie, can he get a 9 as well? Just 8.
He gains a couple. He
Concedes
gains
1.
Gains 1, but we're down to 9 pins here.
Yep. So really more pinning than not.
Yeah, it's all pinning right now. But the difference is
Tim, head pin. He's broken this one up though, 3-pinner. And if the wood doesn't deflect it away, he's got a 3-6-10. Zuffelato crossover, but the 5 fell anyway, tripped over. And he's got a 6-pin.
this is going to come down to marks.
Makeable for both. Oh, no, Scorpion Tail took that one. Timmy really missed it because he got the wood instead of the 3-pin.
What got the 3-pin, that would have been
What a big
gone.
chance for Freshie. He's got it. Single pin. 2 marks and 3.
That's no good. That's a 10. That's a 9.
We'll see how that marks down. Yep, 9 is official. Scores are official as you see at 97 a ball to 87. The lead is 10 plus. This ball full. Doesn't have to shoot at it. It's 7. 104, 17 pins. He did his job. For the first string, total pinfall for the 2 determines. 56 to 52 for Lapierre versus Packard as we move to them.
Well, I know what kind of pole Tim Douglas is. He's down, but he's not out.
Easily.
4-pin lead for Scott Lapierre. Difference is 1 mark. But if you add the fills together, it's a 1-pin match.
Ooh, Packard's dumped 9. So for a different reason, a lower scoring match here. As Lapierre's tipping pins, but he's got the 4-7-10. That pesky corner won't carry.
Wait until the wood stops, Korey.
If you don't get in the pocket, you just don't get the breaks here. Exeter pins do not give it you pins just for showing up.
No, they don't. Oh, right in the
There.
face. All right, it's a 2-mark match, but now it's all depends on the fills.
Packard didn't play the wood that time, did he?
No, he didn't. And if he did play the wood, I would have done something.
Such a stigma against playing the wood. But 8.
Well, rule of thumb: if you see the pin, play the pin.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
I had some guy ask me Wednesday night, do I play the wood or do I play the pin? I'm like, you play the pin. That's a no-brainer. Korey dropped it at the line, but he got 6, 7. That's a good fill.
Korey Packard has a reputation for dropping it at the line and still getting away with the shot as well. Oh, boy. That is the 5, 7, 9, and 10, speaking of entry angle.
Let's talk about a leader lane special, which is what that shot is. You see that shot all the time at leader. And we actually saw Jeremy Seaholm make that shot. Remember? In the finals of the Worlds?
That 170 string he had was incredible.
Yeah.
One of the great highlights of that. And, oh no, the wood deflected around the 5-9.
Missed the 7-10 split, but he was middle 2. And Korey with the PG special. He's not here. I'm not going to say his name.
And a 10 for LaPierre to match, and it's a 5-pin. So, again, these nail biters are going to go down here.
They switch.
That's the right way around. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying they switched leads.
Oh, the switch leads, yes. That 7 feels significant.
Korey drops 6. A 3-1 split
Florida Plantation. What's the distinction there? But great to see you all the same. Dropping 9 is Lapierre.
Korey can make this. I mean, he is a spot bowler, but he knows how to play pins too.
Candlepin would easily succeed in the state of Florida if the logistics
should.
worked. Ooh, almost got the slice on it. And you see he's disappointed not to make that difficult shot. That's the caliber of these bowlers. Lapierre spares.
That's going to put the lead back in Scott Lapierre's favor.
One of State of Maine's finest to see some of the rest of the State of Maine's finest go over to the Maine State's coverage with Paul Grant here on Candlepin Bowling Network. Justin Scally striking his setup, and then I'll expect to see him in a moment for the semifinals. Yeah, Amanda Carroll's a bit tearful over there. What a great victory that was for her, based on Terry Ann's reporting, in effect.
And she didn't win it, but we'll get confirmation when Scally comes on.
Lapierre, the fill is 7.
This isn't ugly. This
Wants
isn't
the wood
ugly.
to stop.
This isn't ugly. No, you want to stay at 4-pin and stay up. You have a better shot at making this with the 4-pin up.
Right, now avoiding the parallel pins. Nobody likes a 7-10. That's a bowling universal.
What is the hardest shot in the game of all forms of bowling? The 7-10. The hardest.
Especially with that wood. He can send this wood across, though, but he hit more of the cap than anything.
It was more cap.
Had he hit the 4-7, it probably would have jutted across.
Good attempt by Korey.
So here we go. We've been really spoiled in the early going when the pins were just rip-roaring everywhere and 20 boxes were going everywhere. And now we have a much different side of this sport we're seeing here.
It's slowed down. The pace has definitely slowed down.
Have to throw 3 balls at a time as well, so literally the pace slows down as well.
I feel like I'm watching an old match with Dan Murphy and Doug Brown when it really did slow down.
Those pins at Londonderry and Park Place could really fly on good days as well.
Oh, yeah, they could.
Lapierre has a 2-pinner.
I can say one thing. I did get a lot of good naps in when Dan Murphy and Doug Brown had a very, very slow match.
You can still watch that on Candlepin Bowling Channel, incidentally. A lot of old uploads there. In addition, other great Candlepin content uploaders like Mike Sweeney, Wolfman12395, and Alley Chat.
Let's not forget about Eric Jones.
And him too, yes. Bowler forever.
Eric Jones is the mechanic at Wamisit and Tewksbury. Does a good job with those machines.
Wamisit.
Yep.
Packard gets 8. And Eric
105.
Lapierre picks up just 1, not 2 on this one. So this should be a 110 to 105. I wanted to get to something else about Eric Jones as well, but yes, that's going to be confirmed there, 105 to 110.
A 5-pin lead in favor of Scott Lapierre.
So the bowler switch back as we begin string number 2 here. So Eric Jones recently donated balls and pins to the Brunsnick YouTube channel, a 10-pin bowler, but had to go with Candlepin equipment. I believe it was both candle pins and big balls versus, and then at one point, Candlepin balls versus 10 pins, the bottle pins.
You know, I hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah. He got a cheesy strike in there at one point, but it was a tough one. We actually, give credit where credit's due. Nick scored pretty decently on that one as well. And then 220 average bowler also did a similar challenge as well. Candlepin balls versus 10 pins.
Here's my favorite. When the 10-pin pros go to Portland, Maine for their big tournament at Bayside Bowl, they always find a Candlepin alley and they give it a shot.
Bayside Bowl is the best 10-pin atmosphere in the whole PBA, easily.
It is.
The state of Maine loves their bowling in every respect, and you see it there. Greshey gets a 9 there and a 9-box for Tim Douglas.
No lead change.
So those few spares, the spares in 8 and 10 for Nick Zuffelato.
That's the difference of the match right now.
Chance to give him yet another deep Pro Series run, and when it matters the most. It's 4 to start here.
It's like I said, don't count Timmy out. He's a good bowler.
Tim, a little thin on it. The ball is tailing away.
I have no idea about this one.
So he's left with another stumper here. Nick's got to curl us in here, but he's only got 3.
It's more the wood. I don't know
Timmy.
Oh, what a run. What a run.
But no 7.
Everything just jumped off the plate when that hit.
Just simultaneous action there, my goodness. Zuffelato glancing the head pin around, that's only 8. Timmy grabs 2. 15 pins. So really, we are past the point of pinning at the current moment. Tim Douglas does need a couple marks here.
Yep.
But if he does.
But he's still playing well. That's the main thing. No, so going back to the PBA and the state of Maine and them doing Candlepin bowling, it's really interesting. I actually seen a video, the world's greatest bowler, Jason Belmonte.
At Westport, that's right.
At Westport, taking a Candlepin ball, doing his two-handed approach. And let's just say he did not feel very well.
He tried.
Of course he did. Oh,
Timmy strike! There it is.
There's the ball. There's the Timmy Douglas I know.
I told you strikes were rare in this game, but there it is. His brother Scott had a double just a moment ago, just saying. And that was a key one as well. It wasn't everything, but it was a big part of his victory. 1, 9, and 10 is Zuffelato is trying to pin this out.
You know what I've noticed? We have not had one banana split today, and Casey's online.
Yeah, it's been more of the thin hits than anything.
Watch this strike. 1-3 pocket, gone.
Actually, 1-2, I would say.
It looked like the 1-3.
It's gone in a flash all the same. No 8 pin for Tim Douglas. That's why he's re-racking. Actually, we'll get set here. It's amazing. It's amazing the technology in these pin setters. Haven't been able to make any new ones for quite some time. The last company made is bankrupt, one of the greatest existential threats to Candlepin. 5 for Freshie. Tim Douglas lost the handle on this one, but is still blowing out the candles. 6 down on the first one.
1, 7, 8, 9. All kinds of wood.
Bundle of 5. It's short pinning the 7. Off the wall for Nick.
You need the diamond part of the...
Tim drops it on the lane slightly. Got 9.
Oh, you missed the head pin. If you hit the head pin, that would have gone.
But those sticks are massive. It's a 3-pin match again. Freshie 10. Now the sticks. Now the third ball is everything. And it's 9.
Down by 4. Okay.
One more box to go in this half. On lanes 5 and 6 here at Exeter Lanes. I'm Greg Gouillart. That's Kevin Burns. We're here on Candlepin Bowling Network. Justin Scully taking a brief break. He deserves it. I hope to see him for the semifinals. We'll see what happens. Hope it was a great coverage over there.
I'll watch it later. Oh, I have Worcester.
You're spoiled for content here on Candlepin Bowling Network between here and the state of Maine, here in New Hampshire.
And let's not forget about tonight, too, with Drew Steele and Rick Sanucci.
In Massachusetts, we're all over the place.
And I'm probably going to make an appearance there, but I'm not going to bowl.
Getting an increasingly better crowd for those Kings of the Hill as well.
When Masons had it, it was really tough to have that many people.
1-3, not the 10 ringing around.
It was really tough for Masons not to. Masons drew the crowds, but I also had a league on the left side, so I couldn't really expand.
Good out. 6 becomes 9 for Zuffelato. 43 half. Tim Douglas, that should be fair in a 10. We'll see. No, he's waved it. He's waved it. That's 9.
No,
I saw him wave it off. We'll see what the.
They put it as a 10.
Sorry, I thought I saw him do a wave-off gesture. It is not for. Obviously, it's the bowler's call, of course. We never influence it per ICBA rules, but it looks good to me, but that's just my opinion.
And we can't review it because those are not reviewable at the moment.
No. All right, over to Korey Packard and Scott Lapierre. Now I remember I got to reset this one.
Lapierre is up by 5 pins over Korey Packard.
You see it here. He starts with a 3 and the 7. Korey Packard got his head pin thin, and he's got a bundle of 5. Kel Surprise.
I am not. With the way that lane has been acting today, it's been nothing but action.
Il n'est pas étonné. Bundle of 5. Nope, wrong pin there. All right, a bit of a pinning struggle here. Lapierre's going to want 1 out of this. He didn't. He gets 8.
If Korey can get most of these, bring down.
Ooh, lost his balance at the line, but got away with it. He's got the 2, 5, and 7. It's a
4-pin lead.
You see him checking his slide there, but that's a significant pin to take.
He's checking his back, too.
And I saw him stretch out there.
Let's not pull your back.
All these bowlers among the best of the best. That's why they're here in the Pro Series final. 2-pin into the head pin, and it's still rolling, by the way. And now curling around the 6-10 for Scott Lapierre.
That's a favorable piece of wood.
Korey Packard strikes.
Hello, Korey. Let's see if Scott needs to make this.
He's got a plank there at least. Ride the rails. He's done it before. He did it again.
I love how Scott's wearing his Candlepin for Cancer shirt. Beautiful strike.
So still a 4-pin match. 1 bonus ball can be as good as 2. Just as well, strikes are tough to come by. They're just, nobody can throw a strike on command. Lapierre dumps 8. And a 7-pin 2. What a 9 drop.
Unless you're Tommy Olsen.
Even him, there's no guarantee. Packard, did he? No, he does not double.
If once it's not a setback or a bundle of 5.
Now it's down to single shooting. Lapierre goes back to back, 19 and another. And a spare to match. 20 bucks for Korey Packard. There it is. Look at this match. Now the marks are heating up, but the margin remains tight. 3 pins, ball apiece. Could create a swing here depending on how this goes. Got to get the entry angle right. We've seen these Exeter pins do not fall just because you hit the head pin. Lapierre crosses. It's a little full, in fact, but he drills 8.
He dropped a 7-10.
Thank goodness for that. Packard.
Off the head pin.
There we go. It's coming forward, by the way. That 3-pin was hit.
It was hit, but it's rocking.
So 6 pins, and Lapierre gains 2 more to go up by 5 as we wind down the second of 2 strings.
We started this half with a 5-pin advantage for Scott Lapierre.
Exeter Lane's a fantastic 12-lane bowling center. Looking forward to having the women's 220 doubles here later in the year. Lapierre on the wood, twirling over. Another one from behind, neither hitting.
It's not bad. I mean, I think he hit that pin a little too full.
Packard into the head pin. Here it comes. 7 pins hit. Oh, no.
It was hit.
But denied, and Lapierre maintains his lead, especially with that 10. Who will advance to the semifinals?
He needs this to keep this a 5-pin match.
Aaron St. Cyr was the defending champion, but he is out. Over to Packard, it's 9. Lapierre's gained 1 in this string alone. He now has 6. So wonderful to see the women's competition grow from about 6 bowlers to 24, if I heard Nate Lees correctly. So increasing turnout for the Women's Pro Series, and looking forward to future growth as well. And they have the ability to do the playoffs this year in addition to this and many of the regular season events as well. Lapierre 9. That's becoming increasingly routine for him. Packard, can he drop 9? He's close. Wood's going to straddle and then roll back. He'll have to play this 2-pin deftly. Scott, spare. 3 marks in the half, 65 in a ball.
Korey needs to make this. He needs to make this.
He's fallen into the wood. Gouillart rails it in.
That ball actually curved right in because he started way out to the left.
Always does in his usual routine. And there we are, 169 and 175. Just taking a peek up here, that is the official scores. And now we move across. Back to Tim Douglas and Nick Zuffelato as we switch sides, you see it. 3-pin match. The marks have been so tough to come by. Nick Zuffelato with 2 clutch marks in 8 and 10. But now Tim Douglas, dropping a strike when he needed it most, is within 3. Tim Douglas came so close to winning that singles knockout before the great headline of Sean Sears prevailed.
He was up too.
Now he's coming slightly from behind. Freshie just 4. Took out a diamond in effect. Just 4. Good sticks though, that's significant.
Missed the headpin.
It's going to challenge Freshie. The consistency of these pros, it's seldom a point of drama because it's so consistent, these folks. And you see that second ball, even though it doesn't get a mark, just allowing them to stay with it. It's why these bowlers are here, because they're able to do that. If you want to see the alternative, watch my bowling if you dare. Freshie gets 10.
Still a 3-pin.
157 to 154. Taking a look here. Zuffelato now facing a second consecutive Douglas brother. Tim Douglas, the former Easter Classic champion the year before last, when Austin Barnes won it most recently. That 20-string competition. You'll see it on April 20th, live from Leda Lanes in Nashua.
Yeah, monstrous 203 string from Austin Barnes last year.
Off camera, Nick Zuffelato has his customary towel that he usually has at the back of the approach. I thought it was usually just him marking a spot on the lane that he delivers from, but that's partially true. Now he steps up partway to the halfway mark of the approach. Interesting place for a towel. I seldom see it placed there, but that's his style. Drop 7. Douglas uses the whole length of the approach. Fires it into the curtain, I'm afraid. Chance for Nick to grow this 3-pin lead. Can he curl it in? On target, but short off the wall.
He can't believe it.
That's a thigh slapper there. Tim Douglas, that glancing blow won't take it. That's 8.
That's going to knock him down.
Some fickle sticks today. It's so easy to hit him just a little too thin and pay the price for it. Just not quite in that 2-4 pocket, I guess. That's the telephone here at Exeter Lanes, if you're curious what that mechanical bell is. Lovely old school system. Since 1946.
What a strike by Tinley. I can't even talk. What a strike by Tim Douglas.
79 years later, bowler still getting it done.
Oh, boy. Here's a Starlight plus the 7.
Well, that's going to be something to pin here.
It can go.
And that's significant here. Zuffelato does not want to give anything away. He has only lost 1 pin in the last 4 boxes. Again, a good second ball here, and that's tenable.
And he's like, what do I have to do to make something like this?
Well, he's got time here. You can't give up on the ball here. He knows that full well, obviously. All the pros do.
Oh, even I know that.
Of course. But it's 8. Just a board short.
Yeah, Casey said he's calling to complain about the noise.
That's like a cell phone, I think.
Yeah.
To Phil on the strike. Tim Douglas got 4 on the first ball.
Well, let's see what this wood ends up. If it goes right in between the 1 and the 5.
The second ball is such a significant crossroads here.
Yes.
Either he gets a great fill or he's forced to make an out. Zuffelato knows this 9th box is everything right now. Freshie's delivery is pocket. Curls in, but it's the nickel and dime.
The world was split.
It's back. Douglas needs 6. Overthrew it just, and he's glanced it around. The fill is 6.
He got 6.
And that dastardly diamond again.
1% chance.
Not on the diamond, but still.
Is as good as a bowler he is, he has a good chance of making it. Yeah.
$8.
It's like I said, every diamond today has not gone.
A 9th pin here for Zuffelato would help a bunch here. He's got it. Full on it, just how you want to do it. It is a 2-pin match.
2 pins in favor of Tim Douglas.
87.99. 104 and 80, that is confirmed. It is a 2-pin match. Tim Douglas blows in there, can't get it to bust up.
It's a 2-2 split. Piece of wood in front of the 10 pin.
What a moment. One will move on to the semifinals.
He's going to have to make this flop.
Can he? Got his head pin, it's thin. It's a bundle of 5.
Yet again.
Pinning is significant here. Tim Douglas has a split. It's tough to work his way out of that. He got a slice!
Oh!
What a
shot!
What a shot that is! The 2-4-6-10 evens up. Tim Douglas.
Wow.
And a bundle of 5. No, rang around it. Surely that has sent Tim Douglas on his way to the final. He'll just take the button reset here. That's a $9. It's all over, baby. Tim Douglas, a massive conversion. We'll see it in a moment after this bonus.
Wow.
And he blows into this. So
7.
7 more 106. That is it. And in such a grinding, tough matchup.
Watch this. He plays it on he split it, but the piece of wood that I was worried about came back and took out the 6 pin.
The 10 into the 6. Extraordinary. And now over to this match. Korey Packard and Scott Lapierre.
Wow, what a shot. That was...
Are you not entertained? And this is why we watch every box. The pacing was so slow, and then when you least expect it, the biggest shot in the biggest moment, when the match starts slow, it just makes those later moments that much more critical.
Korey Packard was 7 on his mark.
For a 71 half. Lapierre drops 7 as well. He's got a 72 half. And this tightrope act is well and truly underway.
6 pins. I prefer Korey's leave because that piece of wood can help him.
Sweeper would. Oh no, it deflected in front.
No. Wow. I'm surprised by that.
We'll see it again in a sec. Scott misses his triangle. Status quo benefits Lapierre.
All right, that's a tough 8. That's a tough 8. I feel for Korey on that one. That one was tough.
To see the full bracket, pull down the YouTube description.
There's a 9.
Lapierre a 9. Let's have another look at this one.
I wonder if he hit the cap. Nah, he played it on the red line.
Red line, maybe high side. It's so tough to see at that speed, but harsh.
Yeah, that was really harsh.
7 pins. 1 mark advantage for Lapierre. Korey's got this wood angled at the 9 and 10. Not the worst thing ever, but he'll need to really bury it in there.
He's going to have to bury the horseman.
4, 6, 10. That's a pin less than Tim Douglas had to convert.
He's going to have to... You have to play the horseman. You got to split the...
And the wood clobbers the 9-10. Yes? Yes!
There you go. You played it right. Played right where you had to.
What a time for a 2. Lapierre, could he get it to cover both?
Nope.
Shot the wood forward. That's why it came this way. Spun it round, catapulted it forward. Blanks there. He's got 9. And another look at this spare conversion for Packard.
I was going to say he has to split the 1 into 2, which he does, and something comes out the wall. Take out the 9 pin. I say it all the time. Every shot can go.
To fill. Head pin.
How about
6.
a diamond?
Of course it is. We're tied.
Oh, I have Worcester.
And the tie is official on the scoreboard as well. Nobody has made this diamond right today, if memory serves, Kevin.
No. The diamond has not gone at all today.
But as we've seen all day, there's no time like the present. The most important ball, as Danny Finn has told me before, is the ball in your hand. But that one was on the front pin, but glanced around the 5.
And this time, the left side of the diamond does not go.
Uh-oh, Lapierre's needs an out here against the 1, 5, 6, and 10.
This can probably go, but you got to be full.
Has the guide rail in back. That could send something right.
All right.
And Packard can't get the out on his third ball.
Sky is saying I just need at least a 9. But no, it's still tied.
So the guardrail in back doesn't drive anything to the right, and it is 208 to 208. Packard laboring a little bit as well with an incredible backswing that he generates in his ball.
Well, Korey started at 10 o'clock. That was two games. 2 games on 1 and 2. He's on his 6th string right now.
Yep, neither of these bowlers had a first-round bye. Packard trips the 4.
That's good. Let's see
2 boxes left. Lapierre, check mark. He's thin on it and can't drive through the 3.
Korey is saying to himself, okay, 2-pinner. I know where I can hit this. He has 2 choices. You either play the pin or play the wood. The wood can carry that.
Let's see. Into it directly. Spare.
Like I said, see the pin, play the pin.
A clutch mark in the 9th for Korey Packard. Lapierre needs pins. He's still in this no matter what.
It all depends on the field goal.
Oh, but an 8-box. Chop, chop, he goes, and it's suddenly too full on it after he was too thin the last time. Korey Packard, 2 pins and a ball.
This can go either way. A big field by Korey. Scott's going to need at least another mark just to keep this close.
Striking, it's basically over.
Korey gets a strike.
Strike to claim it, right, Gary Thorne? Here's the head pin. It's 7.
You let the door open. Setback. Not a good time for this.
Lapierre's furious about that one. Side saddle triangle for Packard. Of all the thin pin leaves we've seen, this is one of the rarer ones. I don't think we've seen this one yet.
No. We've seen the reverse triangle.
359. This to clinch it, but no.
No.
Chance here, but that wood is so tough to play. Is it off the wall enough? Can Lapierre leverage it? Spins over, and it does not. Korey Packard is a semifinalist in 24-25.
For the 10, good night. Scott for his 10, good night. Congratulations.
To clarify, unless you're in Australia, it is 12:33 p.m. local time. 235 to 226. And there we go. Korey Packard advances. We see the scores from last time. Tim Douglas advances.
A 10-pin lead for Tim Douglas and a